going to discuss about parallel configuration. So our next topic is parallel configuration. So first note down this diagram. So please note this picture is the reliability block diagram of a parallel configuration. So note down the reliability block diagram of this parallel configuration. Parallel configuration means each reliability block is parallel to another one. Okay, so this one is the reliability block diagram (RPD) of parallel configuration. Okay, so assume that x1, x2, etc., xn are the successful events of uh, first component, second component, etc., nth component respectively. Okay, so please note x1, x1, x2, etc., xn are the events, successful events of the first component, second component, etc., the nth component respectively. Okay, so here you can see that this entire system will survive if at least one component is survived. If at least one component is survived, the entire system will survive. Mean for the successful operation of this system, the successful operation of any one component is sufficient. Am I correct? So what we have? We have the system, the survival of system. We can write it as S. So this event, the survival of the system, this event will occur if any one survival event is, if any one individual survival event, if any one is occurred, this S will occur. So what we have? We have x1 or x2 or x3 or etc. or xn. Mean this event will occur if at least one of this event is, if at least one of x1, x2, x3, etc., xn, if at least one is occurred, definitely the system survival event will occur. Or in other terms, we can say, so I told you in first module, reliability point of view or survival point of view, we have only two events, that is S and S bar, either survived or not survived, and these two are mutually exclusive. Means this system not survive means fail. The system will fail. This system will fail if all n components are failed simultaneously. Am I correct? If all these n components are failed, then system will fail. So what we can write? S bar. S bar is equal to x1 bar. X1 bar means first component is failed and second component is failed and third component is failed and etc. and the last component is failed. So in two different ways we can write this one. First one is, if one component is survived, the system will survive. The survival of one component is sufficient for the survival of the system. So that means the event S is equal to event x1 or event x2 or event x3 or etc. or event xn. In other means, the system will fail if all components are failed. If all components are failed, then the system will fail. So what we can write? The event S bar. Event S bar means the failure event of the system. Event S bar is equal to event x1 bar and event x2 bar and event x3 bar and etc. and event xn bar. Am I correct? So what we can write? First we can consider the failure of the system. So we can write P of S bar means what about the probability of failure of the system? Probability of failure of the system, P of S bar is equal to probability of simultaneous failure of all n components. So probability of S bar is equal to P of x1 bar and x2 bar and etc. and xn bar. Means the system will fail. The probability of failure of the system equal to probability of simultaneous failure of all n components. So this is P of S bar. Please note, this is also, we can write what about the survival? P of S is equal to probability of, so what about the probability of survival? Probability of survival is equal to probability of survival of at least one component, that is probability of x1 or x2 or etc. or xn. P of s is equal to P of x1 or x2 or etc. or xn. And the interesting thing is, I told you S and S bar are mutually exclusive. Then what about component 1? Its survival event and failure event are also mutually exclusive. If you are taking any component or any system, its survival event and the failure event are mutually exclusive. Means this P of S is nothing but 1 minus P of S bar. Is it okay, all of you? P of S is equal to P of x1 or x2 or etc. or xn, that is equal to 1 minus probability of failure of the system, 1 minus P of S bar. Equal to what? Equal to 1 minus, what about P of S bar? P of S bar is the probability of simultaneous failure of individual component, that is x1 bar and x2 bar and etc. and xn bar. Is it okay? In some situation you can apply this combination rule. In some situation this calculation may be simple. In some situation you have to use this combination rule. Then you have to take its complement, that is 1 minus that value. It will give P of S. Is it okay? So please note down these three equations, that is P of S bar is equal to P of x1 bar and x2 bar and etc. and xn bar. Then note down this survival equation, P of S is equal to P of x1 or x2 or etc. or xn. That is also equal to, please note down this equation, 1 minus P of x1 bar and x2 bar and etc. and xn. So please note down these three equations. എല്ലാവരും ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക, ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു മിക്സഡ് കോൺഫിഗറേഷൻ തന്നിട്ട് അതിന്റെ ഡെറിവേഷൻ ചോദിക്കും. അപ്പൊ അതിന് കോമ്പിനേഷൻ റൂൾസ് ഓഫ് പ്രോബബിലിറ്റി എങ്ങനെ കമ്പ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ള ആ റൂൾസ് നിങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കി വെക്കണം, ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് യൂണിറ്റ്സിന്റെ അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ്. Okay, so this one is a general representation. Now what about the independent case and dependent case? So if the failure units are independent, or if the failure events are independent, then what we can write? We can write, please give me the answer. If x1 bar, x2 bar and xn bar, if these failure events are independent, then what is P of S bar? So no response, okay. So this is P of S bar is equal to P of S bar is equal to, if x1 bar, x2 bar, etc. xn bar are independent, then this is equal to P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar into P of x3 bar, etc. P of xn bar. Okay, so if the units are independent, then P of S bar is equal to P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar into P of x3 bar into P of xn bar. Please note x1 bar and x1 are mutually exclusive, right? So what about P of x1 bar? P of x1 bar is 1 minus P of x1. 1 minus P of x1. What is P of x2 bar? 1 minus P of x2 into etc. into what about P of xn bar? P of 1 minus 1 minute. So P of x1 bar is 1 minus P of xn. So this is the probability of failure of the system. That is equal to P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar into P of x3 bar into etc. into P of xn bar. So why I am writing like this way, 1 minus P of x1. In reliability block diagram, they will give the reliability value, that is something like 0.8, 0.7, 0.9, like that way. So in order to find P of x1 bar, we have to take 1 minus P of x1. So if it is 0.8, what is P of x1 bar? This is 0.2. What about P of x2 bar? This is P of x2. So P of x2 bar is 1 minus 0.7, that is 0.3. So this second equation is also very important. Now what we are finding actually, we are finding the reliability of the system. So P of S is equal to, I told you, that is probability of x1 or x2 or etc. or xn. This is also equal to 1 minus P of S bar. So this is P of S bar. So what we can write? This is equal to 1 minus, if you have this value, then directly I can write 1 minus P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar into etc. into P of xn bar. If you don't this value, then we have to apply this one. So what we can write? This is equal to 1 minus P of x1 into 1 minus P of x2 into etc. into 1 minus P of xn. So P of S is equal to P of x1 or x2 or etc. xn, that is equal to 1 minus P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar into etc. P of xn bar, that is also equal to 1 minus P of x1 into 1 minus P of x2 into etc. into 1 minus P of xn. So please note down this equation. So now if the units are dependent, if the unit failures are dependent, then how to calculate the probability of the system? So if the unit failures are dependent, then first we can find the probability of failure of the system, that is P of S bar, that is equal to P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar slash x1 bar into P of x3 bar slash x1 bar and x2 bar into etc. into P of xn bar slash x1 bar and x2 bar and etc. and xn minus bar. So we can explain this equation. So first note down this equation. After that we can explain this. Okay. So note down this equation. P of S bar is equal to P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar slash x1 bar into P of x3 bar slash x1 bar and x2 bar etc. into P of xn bar slash x1 bar and x2 bar and etc. and xn minus 1 bar. Okay. Okay, so please note, if you have only two units in this system, for example 1 and 2, then we can write if these two units are independent, If the two units are independent, then we can write P of S bar is equal to P of x1 into P of x2 if it is independent. If it is dependent, if the failures are dependent, then we can write P of S bar is equal to P of x1 into P of x2 bar, P of x1 bar, so this is x1 bar, P of S bar is equal to P of x1 bar into x2 bar slash x1 bar. P of S bar is equal to P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar if it is independent, if the unit failures are independent. Then if unit failures are dependent, then we can write P of S bar is equal to P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar slash x1 bar. What is the meaning of this particular representation? This is a conditional probability. Means the probability of failure of second event if the first event is failed. Means we can write it as probability of x2 bar if x1 equal to 0. 0 means failed. x1 equal to 0 means x1 bar. So probability of x2 bar if x1 is failed, that is x1 bar. So we can write it as in different way. We can write it as this is also equal to P of x2 bar if x1 equal to 0. So that is meant by conditional probability. Okay. So P of x2 bar x1 bar means probability of failure of second event if first event is failed. Okay. So this one about two component. Then if you have three components, means if you have one more component here, the third component, then we can write P of S bar is equal to P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar slash x1 bar into probability of failure of third event if first and second component failed simultaneously. Okay. So if you are considering n components, then this one is the probability of failure of the system. P of S bar is equal to P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar slash x1 bar into P of x3 bar slash x1 bar and x2 bar into etc. into P of xn bar slash x1 bar and x2 bar etc. and xn minus 1 bar. Okay. So please note here P of x2 bar slash x1 bar means the failure operation of x2 under the condition that unit 1 is failed. Okay, so this one is parallel configuration. Any doubt? Okay. So now we come to a problem. Consider a system consisting of three identical units. So please note the probability of three units are same. Okay, that is identical units connected in parallel. So we have parallel configuration. Logically or reliability point of view, these units are in parallel. The unit reliability factor is 0.9. The reliability of each component is 0.9. Okay. If the unit failures are independent of one another, and if the successful operation of the system depends on the satisfactory performance of any one unit, determine the system reliability. So please note, we have three units. These three units are connected in parallel, and we have identical units, and the reliability of each unit is 0.90. If the unit failures are independent of one another, so the unit failures are independent, and if the successful operation of the system depends upon the satisfactory performance of any one unit, so already that one is mentioned here, it's parallel. So that one is explained here. The successful operation of the system depends upon the satisfactory performance of any one unit. What is the system reliability? So that's a question. So note down this question. Three components, that is x1, x2, x3. Okay. So now the probability of all components are, because all components are identical. So the unit reliability. Reliability means the reliability of each component, that is P of x1, P of x2, P of x3, all are identical, so all have the same reliability 0.9. Okay. Now what is next information? All these units are connected in parallel. The same thing is mentioned below. The successful operation of the system depends upon the satisfactory performance of any one unit. Satisfactory performance of any one unit is sufficient. Means these reliability components are connected in parallel. This one is a logic components. So these logic components are connected in parallel. Okay. So this one is the reliability block diagram of this mentioned question. Now, so this one is a parallel configuration. So what about parallel configuration? First find the probability of failure of the system. What we have, P of S bar is equal to, this is independent. The unit failures are independent. So P of S bar is equal to P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar into P of x3 bar. So what we need the probability of failure of each unit. Here given the probability of survival of each unit. So from this one we have to find the probability of failure of each unit. That is, we have to find P of x1 bar. What is that? That is equal to 1 minus P of x1. Similarly, you have to find P of x2 bar. That is equal to 1 minus P of x2. Similarly, we have to find P of x3 bar. That is equal to 1 minus P of x3. Please note P of x1, P of x2, P of x3 are identical. All have the same value 0.9. Means all these three, we can calculate all these three by using a single one. That is 1 minus, what about P of x1 or P of x2 or P of x3? That is 0.9. Means P of x1 bar equal to P of x2 bar equal to P of x3 bar equal to 0.1. So this one is the failure, probability of failure of each unit. Probability of failure of each unit is 0.1. Means P of x1 is 0.9. So P of x1 bar is equal to 1 minus 0.9, that is 0.1. P of x2 is 0.9. So P of x2 bar is equal to 1 minus P of x2, that is equal to 1 minus 0.9 equal to 0.1. Similarly, P of x3 is 0.9. So P of x3 bar equal to 1 minus P of x3, that is equal to 1 minus 0.9 equal to 0.1. So what about P of S bar? The probability of failure of the system. This is equal to 0.1 into 0.1 into 0.1. That is 0.001. The probability of failure of the system is 0.001. Okay. At a particular time, the time is not mentioned. At a particular time, this one is the probability of survival of each unit. So at the same time, this one is the probability of failure of the system. So what about the probability of failure of the system is 0.001. So what about probability of survival, P of S? This is reliability of the system reliability, R is equal to P of S. That is equal to 1 minus P of S bar equal to 1 minus 0.001 equal to 0.999. So this one is the system reliability. Is it okay? Any doubt? So please note, if you have parallel configuration, then the system reliability will always be greater than or equal to the maximum of individual reliability. The individual reliability are 0.9, 0.9, 0.9. So the maximum value is 0.9. Always the system reliability is greater than or equal to maximum of Ri. Actually, we can remove this equality. System reliability is greater than maximum of Ri. Maximum of the reliability of each unit. Okay. So if you have a series configuration, system reliability is always less than the lower of the individual reliability. If it is a parallel configuration, the system reliability is always greater than or the maximum value of individual reliability. Always means here we can collect or we can note down an idea. If somebody is asking you to increase the value of reliability, if somebody is asking or if somebody is wishing to improve the reliability of his system, what we can do? Add one more component, same type of component parallel. Parallelly connect one more component. It is known as redundancy. It is known as reliability redundancy. That is your fifth module topic. The major portion of fifth module is the reliability redundancy. Two different ways you can improve the reliability. One way is connect a component parallel to any unit or use one more system, means use one more system parallel to the existing one. Two different types of redundancy are there. One is element redundancy, second one is unit redundancy. So that if you are using parallel configuration, then the system reliability is always greater than the maximum of reliability of individual units. So please note it if you are using parallel configuration. Now note down this question and give me the answer. The question is, a parallel system is composed of 10 identical independent components. Means the probability of these 10 independent units are same. Now here the system reliability is given. If the system reliability is P of S equal to 0.95, how poor can the component be? Means they are asking the probability of each unit. All units have same probability and they are asking the probability of individual components. So please give me the answer. And with this question, with this solution, we can stop today's class. It's very simple actually. Please note what are the informations available. First information is we have 10 identical independent components. We have 10 components and those 10 components are identical and independent. So we can write P of x1 probability of survival of first component, that is equal to probability of second component etc. equal to the last component P of x10 equal to the same probability, so we can write it as P, small p. We can write it as small p. P of x1 equal to P of x2 is equal to etc. equal to P of x10, that is equal to P. Okay. So now what we have, the system reliability is given. P of S, that is given, that is equal to 0.95. System reliability is given. And we have what type of configuration we have? We have parallel system. All these 10 components are connected in parallel. So if we have 10 components connected in parallel, actually first what we can find? We can find P of S bar. Right? And what is P of S bar? If you have 10 parallel components, that is P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar etc. into P of xn bar. Because all are independent, so P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar into etc. into P of xn bar. So this one is the probability of failure of the system. And what is the relation between probability of failure and probability of survival? P of S bar is equal to, this equation equal to 1 minus P of S, that is equal to 1 minus 0.95 equal to 0.05. P of S bar is equal to 0.05. Is it okay? So please note, if P of x1, P of x2, etc., P of x10, if all these components are identical, then definitely the failure is also identical. The probability of failure is also identical. So for convenience, we can write P of x1 bar, P of x2 bar into etc. into P of xn bar, sorry, equal to P of x1 bar equal to P of x2 bar equal to P of xn bar equal to the Q. The probability of failure of first system is equal to probability of failure of second system equal to etc. Probability of failure of last system equal to Q. Because the probability of survival of all units are same, then probability of failure of all units are also same. And what about Q? Q is equal to 1 minus P. So P of x1 bar is equal to P of x2 bar equal to etc. P of xn bar equal to Q, that is equal to 1 minus P, or P equal to 1 minus P. Okay. So now what about P of S bar? P of x1 is Q, P of x2 is Q, and how many Q are there? We have 10 Q. This is 10. We have only 10 component. So P of x1 bar into P of x2 bar into etc. into P of x10 bar equal to Q raised to 10, that is equal to 0.05. So my question is, what is Q? So Q is equal to 0.05 all raised to 1 by 10. Q is equal to 0.05 all raised to 1 by 10, that is 0.5 raised to 0.1 equal to what? So in calculator you have x raised to y icon is there, you can use that. So that is equal to Q is equal to 0.7411, means the probability of failure of each component is 0.7411. So P of x1 bar, P of x2 bar, etc. P of xn bar, that is equal to Q, is 0.7411. So what about P? P is equal to 1 minus Q. What is P? P is the probability of survival of each component, each unit. So that is equal to 1 minus Q. This is equal to 0.2389. Right? Sorry, not 23, 25. 2589. P is equal to 1 minus Q, that is equal to 1 minus 0.7411 equal to 0.2589. Means how poor can the component be? Means the probability of survival, the reliability of individual unit, individual component must be 0.2589. If the reliability of individual unit is less than this value, we can't achieve this reliability. The system reliability will not be 0.95 if the individual reliability is less than this value. If the system reliability is greater than 0.95, there is no problem. That one is an advantage. If somebody is demanding a system reliability of 0.95, then you can select a component with reliability greater than or equal to 0.2589, because if it is 0.2589, the system reliability will be 0.95. So if the component reliability is greater than this value, then definitely the system reliability will be greater than 0.95. That one is an advantage. Okay. So how poor can the component be? Means the reliability of the system must not be less than 0.2589. The reliability of the component must not be less than 0.2589.